some upshot, this time 6-point perspective upshot. So again, quick recap. What is 6-point perspective? So as you know, repetition is a mother of skill, right? So let's repeat one more time. Так, where's brush? Так. So how we draw 6-point perspective grid? Weird. Okay, anyway, so first it's a cross which show us y and x axis, and if we look and straight, it's y vanishing points, and this will be x vanishing points because this is horizon line. But if we looking down or up, then horizon line will be this circle, like in a 5-point perspective grid. Okay, so this horizon line. So it works same for when you're looking up and same when you're looking down. So a horizon line will be this, and instead of y, this vanishing points will be z vanishing points, and y will be in the center. So this lines, it's a vertical axis. So, and we see how z curves this way and x vanishing points, x curves this way. And then what makes it 6-point perspective grid is that we also draw area outside of this circle. So now we have this z axis going like that, and curvature go like this. Whoop. It's kind of reminds magnetic field or apple. So it's this happen with z, and the same manner happen with x, right? So it's going around. So basically it's this kind of shape, like when we have straight line, we have here circle line, and then we draw transition. So it's a transition from this curve to straight. See? So it's like straight line, start to curve, became here circle, then go inside circle. This kind of idea of this grid, kind of, right? Because like in a linear perspective grid is just convergent linear lines. In this one, it's a transition from straight line to curve line, which is very easy to draw if you use this subdivision approach. So it's like you have this straight line and you draw from straight to this curve, you draw in between, and then you subdivide, and etc. So I've been talking of this all the time, so it's just like quick recap. So, and here we have this situation when camera looking up, right? So we have this like 360 camera standing on the ground and looking vertically up like this. So we have 90 degree. So because of this, we have in our visual sphere, we have this situation when in a 2D projection, usually in 2D projection, we have Z in the center, right? But because camera is rotated up, so it means this direction of visual sphere now 90-degree up. So instead of Z in the center here, we have Y in the center. So this vanishing point in the center of perspective grid now is a Y vanishing point. Okay. So, and what we see here, it's this very obvious lines for vertical, for Y. Then we can find where is X and Z. And this X and Z, they always lie, these vanishing points, they're always on horizon line, which is also stands for height of observer, like your eye level or camera level, right? So let's see. Here, this are Z. Can immediately find it. Okay, so seems the Z vanishing points will be about here. And then I see X. Okay, so now we can kind of continue where they will intersect. So here we have X vanishing points, Z vanishing points, and now we draw this belt, which is connects this vanishing point. So this is our horizon line, horizon belt. Так. So, and then, yeah, if I want, can just draw more grid lines like this. So X will go like this. Z will go like that. Here's your perspective grid. Так. Same happen here with the outdoors view. Same, let's make Y. It's like always most obvious because we see the straight vertical lines. Right. But then let's find where is Z and X. Because here we have many directions. Let's take this one for example. So this we can take as Z vanishing point. We see how, like, if we make straight lines through Y vanishing point, we will have right opposite side for this Z vanishing point. And now we look, oh, it's like very very much align with the typical perspective grid, because now we have on a perpendicular way, we have x vanishing point. So if like again we draw a line through center, here will be 1x. Here, about here we have second x. So these are 4 vanishing points and y vanishing points, point in the center. Then we have horizon line. Just we can even say like a horizon line here, like eye level, right? How high is this eye level? It's about like a middle of a thigh. You see this man here? So we have this man walking. And camera level about this high. So it's kind of like perspective grammar. You can see that you can be like very precise. You don't need to draw like super straight lines. You don't need to calculate it on a, like you don't need to use like formula to make super properly calculated measurements, proportions. But you can like have very clear understanding of structure of construction. So where is main elements? Так. And let's see. So we continue this line here. Then we draw a loop. Can draw here. And also you see it helps to understand, just want to make it clear. So it should be always super clear that perspective grid, it's like, it's kind of phenomenon which is constant. You just learn it like a character, like some kind of hieroglyph. And then it's keep repeating everywhere, again and again. All it happen, it's just turned, it can be rotated, and it can be also distorted and skewed, right? So it's kind of not always perfectly symmetrical. But structure always remains same. So let's take and then maybe one more here.
Madness. This is Jane Bond art.
Okay, so let's use this reference as for example. Take here y vanishing point, Z vanishing points. No, sorry. The vanishing points not here. They will be like a here maybe. Or okay, let's make like our composition will be a square like this. So we can do the vanishing points here. So this grid, like in a picture, will go like this. Here, X. So and same for Z-axis. Yeah, so what I always telling again and again is that is actually very a big relief to realize you don't need a ruler for perspective, because even very complex fisheye perspective you can draw with a freehand. So then why you need ruler for some basic perspective? Так. But yeah, you still can use ruler. It's nothing bad with using ruler in general. But you will use ruler more as a kind of favorite tool. It can be like help you to make like certain effect on your work. Like, you know, have very sharp edges. Так. So here we have one street. So using ruler just make it very specific effect, kind of special vibes. Так. So also I see interesting moments like we have this front of a building on a corner, right? So it have its own, this side will have its own vanishing points going kind of like this. So every vanishing point which like showing axis parallel to ground, they will be on a horizon line, right? So let's say we have new vanishing point D, and it always will have its double. So you need to make kind of from this vanishing point go through center, and you will find this D on the other side. And every vanishing point line on the horizon line in this perspective grid, they will always behave this way, right? So it's like go this way, and kind of like same pattern like in Z and X. So if you make one more vanishing point, it can be like endless amount of vanishing points. Like you say, you want to make like vanishing point F, for example, one more, right? Again, draw lines through, you find one more vanishing point, and again, it will be like this. So after like drawing a couple times this type of perspective, you just start to see these curves. You don't need like draw it. So it's like I draw this side of building, right? Like I don't even need to draw this vanishing points. Just knowing where vanishing points can be for this curvature, it's important for me to understand how they should behave. That's it. So I know it's like you kind of like understand just in which way it should works. So you kind of can draw close enough. Let's kind of think about drawing freehand, right? Because like making precise perspective is not only task you have. You have so many goals like composition, tonal, kind of like you need to organize light and shadows. You need to draw all these people, maybe make color. You have something like narrative you want to deliver certain message, create certain mood, effect, and perspective is only one element in all this, right? So when you draw your illustration, you organize your resources accordingly, right? So, and in general, about perspective, it's just like all you need is make sure it help your composition, help your task, and you don't have any major mistakes which will destroy, um, kind of break realism or effect, kind of, right? Because if it looks silly, if it look like naive, it can like totally break your kind of vibes you want to deliver in your illustration. People just will see your mistakes and kind of can be confused or cringe. So yeah, I would say like main goal with perspective is just make sure it's not disturbing. Because if you focus so much, if you like um over focus kind of on perspective, if you like make it too much attention to it, it will be little like a waste of energy, because making perfect perspective, it's kind of very boring thing to do. People will just say like, nice, you make perfect perspective. Congratulations. Good job. That's it. It's not like how you want your artwork to kind of influence a viewer, right? It's kind of too boring. So instead of make perspective main goal, you remember that it's it's about not make too much attention to perspective. It should be like this, like underlying underlying framework, right? So people don't see it, but it works. Yeah, more like talking about anatomy is kind of similar thing. Point is not to show like every muscle, every bone, and showing off to people like I can draw anatomy. Point is opposite. It's kind of make it look, make anatomy kind of invisible, so people will not even think about it. It will work subconsciously. So like when everything is all right, people don't even think about it. They react to your composition, to your narrative. Так, so let's put some people. So people like, in this principle, like when we have hanging people on the eye level, for example, right? So if like camera height is eye level of people in the frame, then you draw every figure kind of hanging to horizon line. It can be like very far, or can be like here, some dude. Very close. So here in this case, like I showed before, we have people. It's like about like middle of a thigh. So kind of like this. Also, I was thinking I can draw motorcycle here. Some other picture. So if I want, let's make it like a knee. Let's make like people, camera high will be about okay, anyway, let's make like middle of a body. So everybody will be like middle of a body, like where legs start. So it's just very easy to draw. Let's put motorcycle somewhere. Так. some kind of Akira vibes. So here one dude with motorcycle. Let's make one more dude here. Hmm. Let's just experiment. So have flying dude, flying motorcycle here. Well, anyway, this kind of why we need this camera angles is to draw something crazy. Так. So make it smaller. Whoa. Let's make some music. Then let's see. Let's also try Discord. Just let's see if somebody in Discord. I don't know how it works. If you in Discord right now, can go to voice chat. Так. Just recently watched first time. I think first time I watched it like full movie Once Upon a Time in in the West, or yes, it's called Once Upon a Time in the West. It's insane, so good. It's like kind of like a movie which you see is it's like a golden standard. This is like how every movie should be, but also you understand it's not everyone can do this for sure. It's it's some real talent or genius. Because it's like if you compare like other directors to this movie, like Tarantino, Scorsese, no, they look like a student's work compared to this. Because like it's so amazing, like poof, like explosion in your brain, so fantastic. Just forget name of director. Shame on me. Wait second. Yeah, Once Upon a Time in the West. Yeah, Sergio Leone. Sergio Leone. It's the best movie experience ever. Maybe I seen it in my childhood, but now first time watch it as adult from beginning to end. Amazing. Так. Here's some people. Так, some people can... So, shopping. Weird. Links Arcade. Oh, which? I don't know. It's a place. You mean it's some kind of address? I don't know. Just find this picture maybe on Pinterest. Or is it? Not sure. Some dude. Hello, MSCA. Так. MSCA artworks. Так. So here's some pedestrian walk. No more people. Mickey Mouse Arts. Yeah. We'll check your YouTube. You also like have YouTube about drawing? Так. So here. Так. Yeah, it's in OBS. So you have OBS program for streamers, and then inside OBS you make an layout. So you can put like text, you can put chat on the screen and different stuff. So these pictures, I I put pictures inside Pure Ref. It's called like a program Pure Ref. So it's very convenient. You can drop a lot of pictures here. It's better than kind of image browser. Так, вот. Okay, no importance. And just let's search for tutorials on YouTube. Now very easy to understand how to use stuff. You can search everything on YouTube. You can find like whatever. It's like even I don't know how to build a robot or how to be a pilot of a jet plane. Everything can find on YouTube, or if you can't find on YouTube, you can ask AI, and sometimes it's nonsense, but you can try. You can check if AI give you right answer. Like now, I always ask AI and look for YouTube if I want to learn something. Only just need to be aware it's like very beginner kind of stuff, right? Something not very complicated and for beginner level. Because if you want to learn something on a serious level, yeah, you need books, you need some workshops. You cannot ask AI just like teach me how to draw or teach me how to write a good story. It will give you like very basic kind of information or start to generate some nonsense. Books, they're more specific, much better material. Yeah, I use web camera. It's Insta, how they call it? Insta 360. It's a web camera, very convenient. This can have like 4K resolution. And what I like, it can't overheat. Because you can buy like expensive camera, and I think they're like overheat very fast, so it's very complicated. See. Yeah. So here. Yeah, Logitech camera kind of weird. I don't like it. Like right now I have this Logitech. It's for face camera. Так. So let's see. So here. So right now I think like Insta 360 is kind of really best web camera. So if Insta cameras watching my live, give me some sponsorship. Так, here, wipe. Here. Yeah, so also I would say if you like depend on what kind of picture you draw, you might need to reference. Because if you draw like pretty simple picture without many details, you don't need reference. You can just rely on your knowledge of perspective grids and just draw like random landscape. Let's say, I don't know, like something like this. Some kind of random environment. And of course, if I want, I can spend more time draw details, like put windows and stuff. But it still is kind of easy to draw this kind of environment because it don't have any specific elements. It's like I'm not trying to draw particular city or particular time period. It's just very generic kind of buildings. But if you want to draw something specific, like specific type of building, specific type of environment, yeah, and also it's kind of realistic and enough, so you will need to show certain details. Yeah, for this task you definitely need a reference. So kind of treat it this way, because it's not problem with reference in general. It's just about type of work you are doing. So again, it's like if, for example, if you want to make quality work like Norman Rockwell, for example, then you definitely need some references. Not just some reference. You can look how Norman Rockwell work. So he like hire models. He gives them clothes and props so he can make exact pose. So he can see how this particular clothing will make folds. So he can have like all these reference photographs or sketches from real life model to see exactly how material will behave, to see exactly what kind of shadows will be with in this environment and this pose and with this type of clothing. But if you draw like more simple, not so realistic, you you might just create some kind of just more rely on your imagination and your visual memory. Nobody will notice. This kind of realism will be not so important. So, or you can make like photographs or video of yourself. It's kind of like animators and do like this. Thank you. Yeah, I have a scooter, like electric scooter. But yeah, after drawing all these motorcycles, I really want to have chopper or at least some cafe racer. Especially in Taiwan, it's fun to ride motorcycle because it's a lot of good weather days in a year and a lot of very nice um, roads. You can ride along the beach, along the ocean side, kind of watch mountains, or you can drive in somewhere mountain roads. Kind of biker paradise. Так. Um, Objects distort when they're in when they're very close to camera. So let's say so your camera here. This is your field of view. So there's like different type of lens, right? Different type of area. So you can have like this like very wide 360 camera which like can show full view. But if somebody standing far away, so he actually standing kind of inside this small field of view, he will be seen without distortion. It's kind of like this guy, for example, like he kind of not close to camera, so he is not distorted. I mean, he distorted, but not so much. Like this guy, he is closer to camera, so it's like bigger distortion. Because like let's say if he standing here, for example, right? So for a camera or observer, it will look like vanishing points are close to each other. So let's say like y vanishing point here, y vanishing point here, and x vanishing points here like this, right? So now we will see kind of like this. And when you see this like super exaggerated like this, right? You see why this such difference, why it's so distorted, right? Like this is my real size of a hand, but this is like very big kind of change in proportions. Again, because like my hand very close to camera, right? So now we have like this like very extreme diminishing kind of in the size. So if like this guy, he's like move his hand closer, it will be like his wrist, his fingers very big. So here in this view, we just don't have anyone who will like approach camera and move like or move his face very close to camera. So it's like if somebody here will approach and like look to camera, you know, like this. So we'll see kind of big extreme distortion. Something like this. But background environment still will be like kind of looking this way. It's kind of camera line on the ground. So this dude, he's kind of crawling and look like this to camera. Nice. Yeah, like everybody use references. Like it's not kind of imagination, it's lack of visual library. You need to draw more. You need to more like analyze information around you, so you will have more kind of in your memory. So I believe it's like for everyone it's same process. Just somebody did this like maybe in the childhood they already start to gather their visual library. So they look around, they interesting about things, they like study details. They want to remember like, oh, this motorcycle, like how many wheels it have, like what is elements of motorcycle, for example. If you're curious, you start to learn this, and then when you want to draw motorcycle, you know what you're drawing. So it's not some magic talent when you just somebody can remember things, but somebody don't have memory. No, everybody built their memory, right? Like nobody born with the knowledge of constructions and structures. They learn it. So just like different paths. So when you look somebody who have visual vocabulary, kind of something in his visual memory, for you as a external observer, it looks like he always had it. You look at this guy, so like, wow, he have such a good memory, or he have a talent, he can draw or whatever, right? But it's not like he just been given it. He developed it. He developed. I hope I spell this properly. He developed his memory. He built his vocabulary. So it's very simple. So an example is motorcycles. You know, if you want to draw motorcycle, like I mean, obviously, right? At least you need to know it have two wheels, it have a seat, it have a fuel tank and stuff like that, right? Because if you don't know what is motorcycle, you can't draw it. So it's minimum requirements. And then if you want to draw him, like you want to draw motorcycles three-dimensionally, you need to know how to draw 3D form. You need to know how to draw in perspective. So all this, it's the skills, it's the techniques everybody learn. Like if somebody can do it, he can do it because he learned this, he practiced this. So just some kind of proper way to look at it, I guess. Nice. So problem is not lack of talent, kind of, and lack of kind of inherited abilities. In the most of cases, if we're being honest, most of cases problem is just usually people they're very lazy minded, so they're just like they don't focus on anything, they're not digging, and if you will train your mind, if you will practice to get below surface, like learning things, studying things, analyze stuff, like observe, just for example, like watch what happened. Like me as artist, I spent so many years observing. I will like go drawing outdoors, for example, like, and I draw crossroad, like a intersection in the city, right? So I watch it like 30 minutes before I start to draw. Then I start to make composition. I keep like observing like 30 minutes, kind of looking how can I compose it. So I study all these elements. And then when I draw, I keep observing, right? So I can spend like I did like spend like normally like 5 hours observing some particular place, and it's a very interesting experience when you do this like 10 years in a row. You really develop and improve your observing skills. I don't know how to say, like observational skills, right? So now like I kind of I can see stuff which people usually don't notice, right? So I have this kind of like artistic vision, and I just like walk around. I just like kind of gazing, and I see is like hundreds of compositions. I can make drawings. Just look like, wow, this look amazing. This look amazing. So my brain like automatically composing pictures. It's very cool. It's kind of fun. Um, yeah, and you see how it's been developed. I am not born with this. No, I don't work for Disney. I'm just a dude. Так, but might be nice. I will draw some cyberpunk for Disney. So, but yeah, right in here. But I met once some guys from Disney Channel in Hong Kong. It was kind of weird. Can say we're not made for each other. I'm kind of not a mainstream dude. kind of. Hello, I'm a very legend. Yeah, I plan to make some comic book stories. That's kind of like in my schedule right now, right? So right now I finishing my book about motorcycle. Also, I get involved in making book about perspective. Actually, perspective book will be much easier for me to do because I already have all material. I just need to kind of compose it in a book. But motorcycle book will be finished next year, and when I will finish this book, I will finally start the comic books. And no, I did already some comic books, but it's my experiments. I already show it in some videos, but it's kind of for fun. It's how to say. All my life I've been drawing comic books, not professionally, just for myself, and I keep experimenting, exploring, and just to see what is it for me. Because when I draw, for me it's very important. It should be something I believe in. I cannot just draw some pretty pictures. It should be like something which is goes from inside. Like when I draw environments, like when I've been drawing all these years, like since 2010, I've been like full-time travel artist. So about 15 years, like full-time, I've been drawing in environments, different cities and stuff. And there is kind of like core, certain momentum which I feel every time I'm working with something real. You know, it's like you connecting to some um, spring. It's like pure source of information, pure source of some kind of creative force. And then I want to have same contact with comic books when I draw from imagination. Because I feel it's kind of we have same force on inside and outside, right? So like when you draw in something from observation, let's say you fall in love in a girl, and it's kind of just her presence blow your mind, right? So this is example of external force, external this kind of creative force, which kind of like flowing kind of into you, occupying you. And same force we have from inside. And David Lynch, he kind of best guy who express it. Like he talk about this in his book and workshops. It's like this kind of like a source of images inside you, like some space or ocean. Hayao Miyazaki also works this way. He kind of like a diving inside this internal creative source. So, and for me, I've been like experimenting, exploring this kind of stuff to draw my comic books. So, I don't know. Just like, it's very funny because I didn't plan to show it to anyone. Uh, okay, maybe this one actually I did for comp kind of webtoon competition something. So there was like dude struggling trying to draw comic book for webtoon competition. He drawing about this like MMA fighters, and he kind of like seeing like his story is stupid. He's like, ah, my story is so stupid. And then there is like, so here he's like, oh, why? Where's here? Why I'm not so good? I'm not so talented, you know. And there's guys from characters like, what is that? I say, what? Just look behind. And there's like a resistance appear. It's like, what? And so this resistance, bye bye artist. It's like, ha ha ha, finally got you. So you bastard, why you killed our creator? It's like fools. So they're kind of fighting him. Like that. And then I have like story about some bar fight. So cut me first. Okay, this one, for example. So there's like two elf go in a bar. So it's my favorite page. Bam. Because they have like very big difference in the wage. Like super light and super heavy guy. So he kind of broke or disjointed his arm. So, and like can have all that kind of this stuff. It's like one of a sketchbook with this kind of comics. I have more when I just did it as a practice. It's kind of like creative meditation. I don't know. Так. But so this is like mind flow or how it's called, you know, when you just like draw whatever stream of conscious. And I was looking for how to draw proper script, so I read books, watch some workshops. So finally I have good idea about how to write scripts for comic books. So I will do more some real story. Cool. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for inspiration. Let me check Discord. I don't understand. Does it work or not? Guess it's not work. It's weird. Stream room. In the childhood, I've been drawing a lot of comic books. I was like, well, we have like dozens of finished comic books, like about Teenage Turtles, Teenage Mutant Turtles. And there was Jurassic Park, Star Wars. I have like dinosaurs talking to each other. It was like super fun. It's interesting. Like I've been drawing a lot of these comic books before, like before 9 year old. It was just like a play computer game. I was just sit and draw every day, pure fun. But then after 9 year old, I think it's like, it's like left hemisphere became dominant, and I start to be too critical, start to like perfectionistic about my comic books. It's like, oh, it's cool, like looks silly, it's not perfect, and I start to kind of drawing less and less. And only about when I was like 17-year-old, I decide I want to go and study art. So about 7 years, I've been like very lost, kind of lost in a boring life. It's like any other children, wasting time, running, playing, and stuff. It's like here. Yeah, and I will do streams where I will draw comic book. That's why I changed. Like before, my channel was name was like Jin Bond Tutorials, and then I changed to Jin Bond Art. So in the future, I will show more drawing process. Because kind of like you can do tutorials forever. It's just kind of weird. It's not like endless. Like when I will make like 500 tutorials, there will be nothing more to say. So you can just go to history of this channel, look for old tutorials.
Who are you?
Bond. Jim Bond.
Okay, let's draw interior. So here are the vanishing points. Then this were y vanishing point zenith. Then here x vanishing points. So if we make like this 45 angle diagonal, let's move here. This 45 angle diagonal lines, and we make about this half. So we will have this point as like 45 angle, and here is kind of 45 about. So you see this x and z intersect, so this is 45 corners, 45 angle corners. And then again we can draw z go outside, x go outside. Anyway, so it's kind of perspective grid for this interior upshot. Then let's see. Something like this. So here will be kind of column. Так. Here. Oh, it's just some kind of jumping dudes in the fisheye. California. That's like uh, of three dudes. And look like some kind of music video. So we have this horizon line, right? And this shoes kind of already below horizon line. So we're looking on it from top down. It's kind of this kind of extreme perspective views. They always feels unnatural. That's why it's convenient to have reference so you can see this kind of details. So you see, it's like horizon line about here. That's why I look on the shoes from top down. Even this one, it's kind of looking at it from top. Because all of their foot below horizon line. Axis. Good night from California. So what's good night? It's kind of like, what's ignite? Ignite? It's like ignite? Why? Yeah. What's this? Okay. Maybe something like this. Jump into it. And off and again, my cat say goodbye. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. And see you later.